You don't forget the way a forest feels when it's watching you. And I don't mean paranoia. I mean that deep animal-level instinct that crawls up your spine and whispers run. It's been 5 days since it happened, but if I shut my eyes, I can still smell that thick, humid South Carolina air, heavy enough to cling to your skin before the sun even rises. And right beyond my driveway, past the neat lawn my family kept trimmed, the woods waited, dark, dense, too quiet for anything alive. That morning, March 21st, should have been normal. It should have been fun. But I'm telling this story so you understand something. We were never supposed to walk into those woods that day. I woke up around 9:30 a.m. Sunlight poured through the blinds. My cousin was still knocked out on the living room floor, wrapped in a blanket like a burrito. We'd stayed up late planning a little day trip. Nothing crazy. Just two guys messing around in the woods. We'd explored our entire childhood. I nudged him awake. Come on, man, we're burning daylight. We packed food, rope, a hatchet, some snacks, a first aid kit. Everything except what we actually needed. By 11 a.m., we stepped into the woods. And from the first step, I could tell something was off. The storm from 6 months earlier had wrecked the place. Huge trenches ripped into the ground, some 5 feet deep. Roots sticking out of the earth like bones. Fallen trees stacked in twisted, unnatural shapes. But that wasn't what bothered me. It was the silence. No birds, no insects, not even the wind in the branches. Just our footsteps. My cousin joked, looks like something big came through here. At the time, we laughed. Later, those words felt like a warning we ignored. And after 30 minutes, we found a quiet little clearing by a narrow creek. The exact place we always used as kids. It felt nostalgic, safe. We decided to build a small lean-to shelter. He snapped branches and wove crude walls. I built up the roof with pine and deadfall. For a moment, everything felt peaceful. Then the noises started. At first, a faint thunk, like someone chopping wood. My cousin paused. You hear that? I tried to brush it off. Probably a branch falling. But the sound kept repeating, and it wasn't rhythmic, it wasn't a pattern, it was off. Like something pretending to mimic chopping and without knowing how it worked. Then came the splashing. Not footsteps. Not a deer crossing a creek. This was heavier, thrashing. Like something large rolling through the water. Every time we stopped to listen, the sound stopped too. That's when the hairs on my arms started rising. My cousin whispered, Dude, something's out here. I still tried to keep him calm. Probably an animal. But I didn't believe my own words, and then a new sound drifted through the trees. A voice, soft, human, close. A stretched out, high-pitched whistle. The sound people use to call a dog, but wrong. Too slow, too drawn out, too practiced, like someone imitating something they heard only once. My blood turned cold instantly. I looked at my cousin. He was frozen. There's someone out here, he whispered. But deep in my gut, I knew better. We packed fast, but not too fast. Panic meant getting trapped. Panic meant dying. I told him to lead the way out. I stayed behind him to make sure nothing came up from the back. At the time, I thought it was paranoia. I wish it had been. Before we left the clearing, I turned for one last look. That's when I saw him, 20 feet away, half hidden behind a pile of fallen trees. A man, at least. He looked like a man. He wore black clothes, a full black mask covering his face, and the skin visible at his jawline. It was pale, chalk white, almost glowing in the shade. He didn't move, he didn't speak, he didn't breathe loudly, he just watched. Perfectly still. My whole body locked up. Every instinct screamed, "Run." But I held it together. If I panicked, my cousin would panic, and if either of us panicked, we'd never make it out of that broken forest. I turned away. "Hurry," I said. My voice sounded steady, but inside I felt like my heart was going to tear out of my chest. The hike out should have taken 15 minutes. It took 30, because every few minutes... Snap. A branch behind us. Rustle. Footsteps. Matched perfectly to our pace. Whenever we stopped, the forest went silent. My cousin whispered twice, "Do you see that?" Both times I lied. "No, keep moving." But I did see it, not directly, not clearly. Just in the corner of my eye where movement registers faster. The tall, thin shape, sliding between trees. Not walking normally, not running. Glitching, bursting forward. Stopping instantly when we stopped. Like it knew exactly how long to remain still to avoid detection. Every time I blinked, it was closer. My cousin's breathing got fast and shaky. "Dude, he's following us. He's right there." I didn't turn. I didn't want to see how close it had gotten. "Get to the yard," I whispered. "Don't stop for anything." The moment we broke through the tree line into the open yard, we ran, full sprint. Pure instinct. I slammed the door behind us, locked it, deadbolt, chain latch. Silence. My cousin collapsed on the floor, shaking. He whispered. He was running tree to tree, the same guy from earlier. My stomach dropped. I hadn't told him what I saw. He saw the exact same thing. And in that moment, all the excuses I tried to believe, hikers, hunters, pranksters, shattered. That thing wasn't exploring. It wasn't lost. It wasn't chopping wood. It was waiting, watching, practicing that mimic sound, trying to lure someone deeper into the woods. If we hadn't heard it imitate that whistle sound, we would have stayed longer. We would have let it get close, too close. At night, I still feel it sometimes, standing at the tree line, quiet, motionless, just waiting for someone to come back. It didn't want to be seen that day. We only noticed it because it made a mistake, a sound it shouldn't have made. I don't think it was calling to us. I think it was calling to something else, something it was hunting. And the only reason I'm alive right now is because it realized too late that I heard it.